Welcome back, Bulldogs. We're here for our second game of Overwatch tonight with our Crimson team
Yes.
after a pretty explosive first game. Unfortunately, a loss, but man, was it exciting to watch.
It was a very close game. The first two were very, very close. The last one, we talked about it, adaptability, and they came out in the end.
Yeah, Ryerson College getting the best of us there, but now we are going to be going against Orange Coast.
Yes.
I think we have probably the same map pool going in, so we'll be starting on Busan.
Ooh.
We will be seeing, because that first game was definitely unusual. They played that
Yes.
Reinhardt and Zarya composition really far off meta, but they knew how to play it.
They were very confident when they brought it out. They
Definitely.
didn't look like they were lacking in any term.
No, I wouldn't say so.
They brought it out, and yes, Ferris ended up winning the first map. But it's not like they changed their complete composition going into the second or third map. They stuck with it. Yeah, they only changed, like we talked about in the past, the flexibility of the TPS. They changed those. Other than that, everything's the same. I mean, a few Brigidas, but
Yeah, I think potentially that swap off Brigida is actually maybe what gave them the advantage going into the next few maps.
I agree. Yeah, probably.
It's hard to say though. It's definitely crazy to check out though. A lot of great overtime shenanigans, a lot of great clutch plays. Ryerson just getting it in the end though. So we have a pretty great game I think coming up. I'm excited to see some potentially more mirrors.
Yes, I'm hoping to see mirrors in the sense that if one team is truly better, let's see them rise to the top. Because
Right.
right now it seemed like you got a thing by the way. It seems like you mirror and then you're sitting at the same plateau.
Right.
You need to, if you're actually a better team, prove it.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's just a strategy that sort of gets the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of catching the other team off guard. But yeah, when it comes to that mirror matchup, uh, I think we definitely see the best of both teams because
Oh yeah.
usually in these types of metas that definitely rely on mirror matchups, you're also more used to playing what the enemy's playing,
Mm-hmm.
so you have more strats and how to adapt and how to respond and things like that. So we just see a higher level all around.
Right, exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like we said, we just watched the first game play on Busan, so we'll see how the meta for both teams go into Busan this time and what kind of composition they come out with. So that's going to be interesting, especially if Bry's going to stick with a Doomfist. It seemed like it worked really well for him.
Right.
So I wouldn't be too surprised if we brought that back out. At the same time, I'm not expecting too many changes from the Ferris side, but it'll be interesting to see Orange Coast.
Yeah, definitely. We would like to give a shout out to all of our social media. FerrisEsports.club is our website that sort of houses everything. And then if you ever need updates on whether we're going live or anything else, at Ferris Esports on Twitter. Besides that, we do most of our communication via Discord. We also have some links on our Facebook as well. But FerrisEsports.club is where you can find the links to everything, all of our information, everything you need. And then besides that, if you're here on campus, here in the Big Rapids Ferris campus, we have meetings every Thursday
Yep.
at 11
Yep.
in room
209
209.
at the University Center.
Yeah, so if you are on campus, you're remotely interested in being part of the club, you want to be a caster, we need casters, we need production.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to be a player within the streams, then come on down. We'll find a place for you. Besides Overwatch, we also stream a lot of other games too.
Oh yes.
I mean,
Yes,
we
definitely.
have Overwatch, probably our biggest one right now.
Yeah, it's not so much the biggest. It's because it's the most consistent. And I
would
think
say.
that's what kind of some people fail to see is that they're like, oh, Overwatch is the only game being streamed. No, Overwatch is the most consistent game being streamed.
Right.
So if anybody reaches out and you want your game streamed, just post it in the stream schedule. Say, hey, look, I'm playing this game. We're playing it for Ferris. We want to stream. This is the time we're playing. This is who we're playing against. And we'll set it up for you.
Yeah, we're here to support as many players as I can. But I mean, part of the reason that Overwatch is so consistent is that this team has been together since last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Some great players coming in, and we will get accustomed to those players by seeing their intro videos for our Crimson team.
Let's head over and
And there we have them. I used to play with this team, so seeing them all in those intro videos is the funniest thing to me because it fits them so well.
Oh yeah, it fits Milk so well.
Yeah, Milk just always chugging, always getting that protein.
The endless half gallon of milk.
Yeah, he is hyped on calcium.
Oh yes.
That's a secret to the Lucio
It's
play.
the bones.
The bones. Got strong bones. He's ready to carry his team. But yeah, going in, we're going into Busan once again. Seeing that control point.
And if we're talking about modes, there's a new mode being brought to Overwatch,
That's
which
right.
hopefully will be almost removing the thought and idea of control point. Just a thought, you know.
We also saw it within sort of the BlizzCon announcements. We also saw that the next season of Overwatch competitive, and within the Overwatch, I guess we call it Overwatch 1 now, client will actually have Paris and Horizon Lunar Locality out of the map pool.
Yay!
Right?
That's really good.
I'm saying this purely as a player. It's I don't know. Spectating it can be interesting in Overwatch League, but
Paris is not good.
yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
They finally found those dodge stats.
Yes.
How many people would quit the game as soon as Paris was loaded up here? But fortunately, within the TESPA circuit, we don't have 2CP. We only have the exciting modes.
The exciting modes.
Well, I do think that 2CP Assault can be interesting to watch, but I know for a fact playing it, and anybody that plays Overwatch knows for a fact playing it, it can be rough.
Yes, it can.
Because theoretically, if you have two even teams, it's a great, exciting match. But as soon as you have one that's, better than the other, I mean, you get steamrolled, and then you get steamrolled again.
There's a lot of spamming, too. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's true.
It's way more spamming than strategic, in my opinion.
It's hard to say sometimes. It really depends sometimes on meta. I know for a fact in, like, GOAT's meta, for example, it felt so random.
Yeah.
Because literally you ran in there, you did the same thing. You lost or won. You ran in there, you did it again. Unlike the sort of push and pull of, like, payload, for example.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's unique, and I'm excited for this new game mode. Do you want to tell us about this new game mode being released, if you know anything about it?
Push, as far as I can tell, I haven't seen a whole ton of it. I've sort of missed out on the BlizzCon streamers.
Okay.
But I did see that it was sort of a payload race type game mode.
So what my understanding was, I watched a little bit. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. But you're pushing a robot. This robot is walking in. The map they showed us was Ontario. And this map, it's a new map. They haven't finished yet. It is coming out relatively, I believe, soon when the new game mode gets released as well. It's walking in a shape that kind of comes up and down and then around, and then you get to the other side of the map. But what's weird is it's just like any other map. Is you have the main walkway, and then you have all these other canals that lead you behind the team.
Okay.
So it's going to be very interesting, but I don't know what this robot entails.
I think what I
compared
gathered.
to an escort.
I think what I gathered, and I only based this off a few seconds of like gameplay. Again, I sort of missed the BlizzCon streamer hype. Is that both teams have a payload.
Yep.
And the robot will push one as if you were pushing a normal payload, but as soon as the other team wins and takes control, the robot will turn around and start pushing the other one, whoever reaches the finish line first. That's
interesting.
It's very similar to, for any TF2 players, it was Payload Race, but that involved literally just two payloads, both going in separate directions. In this case, there is only one. The robot is essentially the payload. There's only one payload, but it just goes both sides, and whoever gets the farthest distance or reaches the end first, I presume, wins.
That's going to be a very interesting game mode.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I think that's also going to be another sort of tiebreaker type map, as we've seen typically with it's sort of the escort, as we do in TESPA. Starting in the TESPA, we have control to start King of the Hill. Busan will be the pick from TESPA circuit. The next two maps will be in this order will be hybrid and then escort, with the loser picking from a map pool.
Yep.
Typically, I want to say escort or hybrid is Numbani and Kings Row. That's all I've seen so far in the past. If there is a third one, it's definitely not popular.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Kings Row definitely, I think, will be the pick for a Crimson team if they do happen to win the first match.
Yes, I think Kings Row is more of a comfort pick when it comes to a map. Yes, we saw them lose on it, but they were trying to mirror, and like we said with the whole mirror sense, it's it kind of goes hand in hand. Who's the better team in this in the mirror? But it looks like we're gonna be hopping over to Busan. We'll see how this what compositions both sides come out with.
Yeah, so starting up, we have this map here, which has a lot of high ground. We saw the flank route of the Reapers sort of coming in onto that high ground. Many times they kind of stare the other team in the face as they pass through and then dropping them from the back. So that high ground, despite usually favoring sort of Widow, snipers, more of the dive-heavy heroes, within this double shield meta, it's still used quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and especially because if you want to avoid the whole Widow up top sense, you can go around the outside and just be directly on the point.
Yeah, definitely. So right now we're seeing probably a typical double shield competition coming in here from the Bulldogs. Telos is teasing that Zen, but I highly doubt he's going to stay on it.
Yeah.
Probably for that Moira. If he does, then I would be very much surprised. Yeah, there it is. We're going to see on the side of Orange Coast College, then potentially swapping for a completely different comp.
Looks like a pharmacy setup with a Widow Baptiste.
That's interesting. They are running the Hog as well. I recognize that. I recognize the Hog player as a content creator of Overwatch. But it will be a pretty early pick there from the Orange Coast Farah, and that is a Hog just coming in from the side and picking them off.
Yeah, it looks like the Hog's going to be going from behind and hooking the supports, and it looks like that will be a quick reset for Ferris.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't dictate the rest of the pace for this game for Ferris, but I mean that was quite the wipe there from the side of Orange Coast. I mean that Farah getting a pick all the way across the map with those damage boosted rockets. They didn't know it hit him.
Yeah, and we'll see that Orange Coast is trying to hold this choke, just like every other team, and it looks like Bri is going to be on the McCree trying to take out the Farah, but
oh, he is deep in there. He got solo barrage.
Solo barrage.
Oh man, that's a little bit of almost BM coming in from there.
That's a little insulting.
But I mean, it works in the end. It will be Ricochet getting the best of the shield battle though, takes down the enemy Moira. That pharmacy with Bri dead, it's still ready, going rampant. Ooh, that's a big pull onto that Reaper from Ricochet. And finally, it's just a Hog left on point. Ooh, that's a big ult coming in. Adam does have the resources to eat it with his grasp. It does look like in the end, though, Orange Coast is getting the best of it.
Looks like the Hog is still alive and will be taking down all the Ferris besides Bri.
Yeah, Bri. Oh, can he hit it? No, he can't quite hit it.
The Hog with the pull again.
Yeah, that's some huge hooks coming out from the side of Orange Coast. The Roadhog just popping off. We'll see if Ferris can kind of reclaim this point. I think if they can manage to gain control, maybe they can get something going.
Yes, a very Farah heavy, and I haven't seen anything from the Widow yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Widow started doing anything slow.
Yeah, probably some big damage onto the tanks. I mean, they're hard to miss in the long run.
Right.
Carmel actually kidding the Farah there? Maybe she's went a little bit too low.
From Adam.
Yeah, that's a big ult. Carmel there with a follow-up as well. Oh, ends up getting headshot from that peeking Widow. Yeah. That Widow will be straight onto point. Telos, though, keeping his team alive. The final stall coming in from Orange Coast. I think it will be a flip, though, coming in for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks like the Bulldogs will be winning that fight, and it was very interesting to see the Widow drop down in sight with all the tanks. That was weird.
So right now, Orange Coast, they're not playing, clearly not playing meta, but they are playing instead more of a halt hook composition, which it's hard to say how it fares against double shield because I haven't really seen it in the matchup so much. But they're also running Widow Farah, kind of reminiscent of some earlier metas. And then running a Baptiste, which is probably the most unusual part of this composition. But that Immortality field definitely coming in strong, along with that sound barrier from the side of Milk.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting fight because they are through the choke point, but they are sitting in a wide open area that's not helping them at all. Looks like Ferris will be winning this fight again. It looks like the McCree is just going to be sitting on point by himself.
Yeah, interesting. So that was a swap from McCree off the Farah onto that McCree. I'm surprised they kind of got rid of the Farah.
The Farah was working in my eyes, but it looks like the Lucio and the Mercy will go to a Lucio.
But now the McCree will go to a Doomfist, so he's just playing the entire DPS roster right now.
He is a very flexible DPS player. Yeah,
Adam, though, has this Graviton Flux coming in, potential fight-ending ult. There's a lot of ultimates on the side of the Bulldogs. Orange Coast, though.
Looks like the ult will be being used. And Hog pull midair, but getting quickly denied.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge ultimate there from Bry. Again, that Death Blossom.
Lot of actually all the ults on the Ferris side were used.
Or excuse me, yeah, the High Noon. Yeah, they used all 4, so maybe a little bit of an overexpenditure. I think they really only needed the Flux and
maybe a miscommunication on the ult use there.
Potentially, I think they only needed the Flux and the High Noon.
I agree.
I mean, gained them 2 kills pretty instantly. Now it is a Bongo coming in for the side of Orange Coast. A lot of damage coming in, and right now it's 99 on the side of Ferris, but it also might be the last fight for Orange Coast as well. They have more ults coming into this. Coalescence used just now. Bry left out, and I don't think only with 5% left that anybody can make it. Wrecking Ball coming in here from Adam. Ooh, he does manage to catch it just in time, but I mean, yeah, his life will not be too much longer on that point, especially against that whole hog there from Orange Coast. So a pretty great attempt there, back from Bulldogs, but in the end, Orange Coast just saved up those ults and used them to secure the round.
Yeah, that was a good round, though. Very close. I was not expecting it to be a very close one because the beginning was so heavily Orange Coast-sided.
Oh, yes.
And then Ferris did bring it back. I think Ferris adapted to what they were doing and changed their composition. Or didn't really change their composition, but went with a strategic value that worked with them, which is the ult economy, everything. But I think in the end there, I think the ult economy, kind of all 4 of them made them lose that very last fight.
Yeah, and reminiscent of just a little bit ago, in our last game, we're seeing some Reinhardts coming out on this map. Very exciting. I think a lot of it is just to take that full push on that high ground. We'll see who gets the best of this competition. Orange Coast, though, not running the mirror in this Reinhardt Zarya. Oh, they're running a Reinhardt Orisa. That's very interesting. Big charge coming in, but a bigger boop. Wow, what a save from the side of Orange Coast. Ricochet just way too far out of position there.
Yeah. Interesting dive, because when he dived, it seemed like the rest of his team was Maywalled off, so he was in it to win it, so to speak.
Oh yeah, I did not notice that. Maywall coming in big. I mean, no matter what tanks you're running, they can be able to split off that team. But in the event versus Ricochet's Reinhardt, he had to go for the dive and just got split off.
Yeah, it looks like Ferris is going to be trying going through this choke point here, and it looks like the Reinhardt is separated and will be getting frozen. Yeah,
that Reinhardt was going for maybe a cheeky play. I'm not quite sure. Either way, he was way too far forwards.
He did not have ultimate, so that was very interesting.
Yeah, and they're coming in with a 2% advantage on the side of Bulldogs here. Ricochet charging in. Bry has the ice block there to save him. I don't think anybody else will go down.
Be chasing that Reaper.
Yeah. Carmel taking up.
Ooh, the attempt of the save on the Mei wall, but in the end did not save anybody. But that Mei ultimate coming in from Orange Coast side is going to be detrimental, but at the same time, there's no one there.
Yeah, it's a good stall there, at the very least, but I'm not sure if maybe that was the best ult economy. The tanks are back. I think Carmel may be looking to use his Death Blossom now, but I'm not sure if he needs it. Death Blossom, speaking of, used on the side of Orange Coast. Pretty great value from this. I'm really surprised that Orange Coast has managed to stall this for so long.
It looks like the Mei ultimate stalled them so much that now Ferris is actually struggling.
I think that's exactly it. The Graviton is almost online, but Adam does not have almost any charge as he comes back from death, and he will get rushed down by the rest of the members of Orange Coast as they manage to take back the point.
Yeah, surprisingly, we didn't think too much of that Mei wall, just as so much of a staller, but right when that Mei wall, or Mei ultimate, excuse me, Mei ultimate was used, after a little bit, all the tanks were back. So that staller actually ended up helping Orange Coast secure the win on that fight.
Yeah. Ooh, that was an early engage there from the side of Orange Coast, but definitely to their advantage. Able to just kind of run them down. Ricochet taking one on the way out, but it's on the last legs again. We might see some more desperation picks coming in. I don't know if anyone will swap.
2 kills with the Death Blossom, but one getting taken down.
Whoa. Yeah, he almost managed to clutch that. If he had managed to actually stall the point, then maybe there was a chance, but Orange Coast taking
the first map.
Yeah, I mean, some unique strategies coming up from them, but it's really working for the best. Maybe this is just a difference of level, or maybe this is what they're comfortable with.
It looks like Bry's going to be getting the play of the game. Yep.
There it is.
Surprise. Throw him up in the air and high noon him.
Yeah, so we saw that High Noon coming in there getting huge value, but we also hear, just since play of gay, the Coalescence being used as well. I'm not sure if it was entirely needed. So maybe it was the ultimate economy in the long run that sort of did it in for the side of Bulldogs.
Yes, you could also say that High Noon was a reference to Torb in the sense that build them up, break them down.
That'd be a perfect name for that combo. I like that. Maybe I had that one in the pocket to use another time now.
So it looks like the next map's going to be Kings Row.
Oh, yes. Definitely the staple of the side of the Bulldogs, what they're more comfortable with, especially with Ricochet on that Reinhardt. We're definitely going to be seeing
going straight into the game.
more of the same composition. I'm interested to see what Orange Coast does, though.
Because they brought out a very unique composition the first time, I guess we aren't entering the game.
Yeah, I do believe they're swapping out players on the side of Orange Coast. Looks like a sub for a sub, yes.
Okay. I'm not surprised if they came out with a completely different comp than they did the first game.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of flexibility on the side of Orange Coast. We saw a DPS swap a few times in that in one of the Busan rounds. I wouldn't be surprised to see that more often, just as I think they're just doing it directly as a counter, or maybe as soon as they see something is not working, they swap it out. And normally that can be sort of an ultimate waste, but I mean, if you have the skill level, you might as well.
Exactly.
It's hard to say, though. I think definitely there's a lot of good value on the side of the Ferris DPS. Bry is doing a lot on that Mei, I believe. But I think in the end, they just need to work as a team to prevent themselves from getting run over.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting to see if, yep, I'm not too against the whole Pharaoh pick, if the Pharaoh pick is actually going to stay.
Nope, there
No,
it
it
is.
is not. All right.
Yeah, I think defense maybe is a lot more risky to take that Pharaoh pick.
Yeah, she's more of an offensive pick on the DPS side, but
Yeah.
it can be used.
Because as soon as that offense having more ability to swap, as soon as they swap onto a like McCree or a Widow, suddenly you're bounded to a corner. You can't really do as much. We're seeing some really interesting comps here out of the sides from Orange Coast. This is a little bit of confidence coming out from them, and normally I'd say that a little cautiously, but I mean they've already proven to us in that King of the Hill round that they have it.
I'm interested to see this Genji pick
Yeah, Genji in the year
because
of
they have
2019.
a direct counter, which is a man. So.
Yeah, definitely. Looking to just get kind of that dive in there. Carmel playing around that wall, trying to keep that that choke with tons of damage coming into it.
Yeah, it looks like they will be charging in with all the tanks actually and multiple bubbles.
Yeah, a big
Genji
wall.
is still being a nuisance in the back.
Yeah, that Genji really doesn't necessarily counter double shield, but also doesn't necessarily get countered by double shield. I think he can work if you can make him work. Simple enough. But we will see Telos with this early coalescence, super early. And maybe this will be able to sort of swing the tide of the fight. A lot of damage coming in. Ooh, great tracking onto that Genji. Take him out of the fight early. Orange Coast, sorry, will get one on the way out, but right now they have a numbers advantage.
Yeah, it looks like Orange Coast does have one tick, but in the process of trying to get two, but they do have spawn advantage, like you said, and that may cause some problems for Ferris.
Yeah, right now they have a soldier on the high ground just raining damage. And I think that's kind of doing them in right now because that double shield has no counter to
Here
it.
comes the Genji ultimate.
Ooh, Bry finally taking that soldier out of the fight, but a little too late. And that'll be the cap for the side of Orange Coast.
Yeah, it looks like the Genji ultimate ended up taking down a total of 3 players from Ferris side.
Oh, get out of there, Milk. It's dangerous, Milk.
It's dangerous. The Wraith 4 Reaper trying to get out of there alive.
Oh.
Not doing too hot. He did escape.
Oh, I can't
with
believe
his
that.
life.
That's so nerve-wracking to watch that teleport. It's so long that you're vulnerable.
Yeah, it looks like Orange Coast has 3 ultimates going into this next fight, and Ferris does have one, but another one coming up.
Oh, I see the outline of that Zarya. They're looking for these ultimates. A great wall there from the side of Bride, blocking the shatter, but you're still going against that Graviton as well. We'll see if Carmel can get this kill. I don't think so.
The boop threw him off.
Yeah, great peel there by the Lucio, keeping the other tank alive. He did manage to take one out with him. Telos takes one out as well, though. So
the soldier pick is very interesting. I was not expecting the soldier to be very useful, but in the end, like you said, he's running down damage.
yeah, I mean, he's getting that high ground. That first point has great high ground for soldier. Kind of reminiscent of Defran and Selfless comp really early on in Overwatch. That's a little bit of history. But right now, they're going to be fighting this corner. And with a big ult advantage on the side of Bulldogs, I think they may be able to take this. Yeah, that Reinhardt with a little bit of a cheeky flank. Bulldogs ultimately just had the number advantage. Not much he can do there.
Yes, 3 minutes and 50 seconds approaching the second point. Looks like Ferris does have control, and they will be defending this point.
Yeah, there is a blade coming out, or nano blade, to be specific, coming out from the side of the Orange Coast. We'll see if that comes in at all. Right now, Adam, though, has this Flux ready to go. We'll be opting to use it early. A huge pull from the side of Ricochet. They will be getting out that barrier early, but there it is. I hear that blade coming in. We'll see if the Genji can get any value. Either way, Bry going down early on that Doomfist.
Yeah, it looks like Orange Coast is going to be pushing up here, but that rock from Adam is trying to stop the shatter, but in the end, he did end up shattering Carmel and Ricochet's, and a pin on Adam. So very interesting push there for Orange Coast, and it looks like they did win that fight and will be getting the second point.
Yeah, crazy amount of ultimates coming out from both teams, really. That would be really hard to keep track of for either side, but I think when it comes to that, like, Genji Nano Blade, I mean, that Genji Nano Blade, he can go off on his own and do whatever he needs. He doesn't need that coordination. So I think in the end, it was just kind of the individual play getting the best of him. Ricochet, though, ended up taking down the Lucio, maybe just a little too far. And now they will be taking back control of the cart. Carmel almost going down. And then Graviton coming out as well.
Yeah, it looks like Ricochet was holding strong there, but his shield is almost broken.
Ooh,
looks like Bulldogs are pushing up to try to take out this Lucio, but Carmel might get caught out in the open here.
Nah, they're good. Carmel actually did a lot of value in that fight. I don't know. Yeah, I think he just got some Mirage Shotgun in there because he got like a 2 or 3K there. Ultimately swinging the fight.
We'll see how Bulldogs fare in this fight. Going into it, they have no ultimates, but 3 on the side of Orange Coast.
Ricochet almost has a shatter online. Ooh, the enemy Reinhardt goes down. That could be a free shatter for him. Tries to get that pin on that Genji, but between slipperiness and that nano.
Bubbled, nano-bladed, nano-boosted Genji.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, I mean that.
Hashtag spooky season.
Spooky season. Ricochet, though, has this shatter nearly online. Actually, almost every ult online for the side of Bulldogs besides that Graviton. They need a touch point. Blocks that shatter. Was so ready for that. We'll see if he can get a counter one coming in. Charges back onto the point. Gets that
Nice
Lucio.
pin.
Wow. And they don't even necessarily need all their ultimates.
They don't, which is good. They saved the shatter, and they have a Carmel's ultimate coming up. That combo of the Death Blossom and a shatter is going to be huge.
Yeah, right now I think it's just going to be how the Bulldogs can cycle through their ultimates.
Pin.
Ooh, that's a big pin.
And that's a strike down the board.
Yeah. Fry going in aggressive, and it pays off for him. I'm surprised. I thought he was getting a little too greedy there, but that McCree just ended up hitting the wall with that punch.
Yeah, it looks like the McCree and the Lucio on the side of Orange Coast do have their ultimates, so going into this next fight will be either the make it or break it.
Yeah, right now, though, Crimson do have 2 fight-ending ultimates potentially on the side of, or with this Shatter and Graviton. That's a big charge, but that's a bigger bubble. So Genji's in the back line. Oh, that's a big exchange coming in through big teams. Yes. I think, though, in the end, ooh, that's a potential push. Right now, it's the Genji falls off the map. Maybe he reset.
Moira versus McCree.
Oh, but they will have that stall in the end. I think this McCree will go down for it as well. Yes, he will. So a valiant effort, but in the end, spawn advantage wins.
I'm glad we see the wrecking ball.
Oh yeah, I think they are swapping it though.
Yes.
Yeah, he used that just for the potential swap. Probably smartly.
Just to get onto the point.
Yeah, it probably was needed. I think that Genji or that single McCree was pretty scary there, just on his lonesome. But in the end, they do regroup. That is a big grab.
Coming in, and Telos is going to be trying to save a few of his teammates, but they will be getting taken down. The Lucio ultimate's going to be huge to try to save and stall the point as much as they can. They're trying to focus fire as much as they can on this Reinhardt, but the Reinhardt is healing is insane.
Oh, but Bry is getting picks. He has meter strike. He's going into the back line. Ooh, he gets the Ana. That's a big pick. They no longer have a lot of healing in there in order to close out the map.
Oh, ended up getting a 3K with that. Good job, Bry.
Yeah, that was crazy. So we'll be seeing
a Doomfist on the side of Orange Coast.
A swap to Roadhog as well. So they're playing a Roadhog Reinhardt, interesting enough. There is shatters online for both teams. I think really just trying to find a pick with that Roadhog. I'm not really sure. Carmel looking for something is going to meet a lot of damage out on that corner, though.
Yes, about 30 seconds approaching into the last point here. We'll see how Bulldogs fare against this. He does have that shatter, but he knows he has a shatter too, because I know Ferris keeps track of that.
Oh, they actually picked the Doomfist. Orange Coast being a little passive here, waiting for the Doomfist to come back. That's a pretty big time save there from the side of Ferris. Big bubble. Oh, that's a save if I've ever seen one. That's
like the grabs coming in, and the shatter, both shatters were canceled. Lucio ultimate can be coming in on the Orange Coast side, trying to save them as much as they can, but a huge pin coming in from Orange Coast against Ricochet. We'll see how this works.
Yeah, Carmel in the backline does have that Death Blossom. Does a lot of damage out to Lucio. Gets one as well.
Huge bubble coming in for Carmel, man, as well as that Death Blossom being huge. He ends up getting a 3 or 4K. There is still one on the point. Where is he?
That slippery Lucio finally goes down to Adam. Oh.
Looks like the Bulldogs will be stopping them from reaching point 3.
Yeah, and that's now the baseline. They have to reach to that line just around that corner before point 3. We'll see if more solid strategy will come out from the side of Orange Coast. I mean, they put up a great fight, but ultimately Bulldogs really used their ultimates well there.
Yes, both sides still have that spawn advantage, so to speak. So it's very even on that very last fight on spawns, but at the same time, everything came down to just ultimates.
Yeah, I think they, in that Reinhardt Zarya composition, they were doing a really good job of sort of cycling their ults between one and the other. You don't want to invest both that Shatter and the Zarya grab at the same time. It's just a big waste. And I think Ricochet especially was popping off a lot. He had that Reinhardt mirror down pretty well.
Yes, he did.
He was blocking a lot of those shatters.
Actually, it was very awesome to see that Ricochet blocked the shatter coming in from Slayer Gramps, and then right after that, Ricochet tried to shatter, and Slayer Gramps blocked his.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I did see, though, that there was a Nano High Noon just behind the grab. Was stunned, so I think maybe Ricochet got that stun, but other than that, I'm not really sure.
Very interesting cluster in the end there.
Yeah, it's crazy to keep track of, but Ricochet was 100% ready with those Reinhardt mind games. You saw when Slayer Gramps was grabbed, a lot of times what Reinhardts might do is they shatter while they're in the grab in order to save their team, but Ricochet was ready in response. I see those outlines. I see those outlines.
Yes, they are in the top right, and Ferris is
Milk
kind of confused, and then they get dropped on.
Oh,
Ricochet
that's a lot of
tried to
damage.
shift away, or tried to charge towards the site, but in the end started getting blocked by that.
Wait, Milk is capping. Oh, there's Moira finally at the point. About to say, if he can get that first tick, that would actually be huge. Bry won't get out with his life, unfortunately.
Bry will not be escaping, and I don't think the Zarya is either.
Yeah, so
in the end, look at the ult charge coming in from that Reaper on the Orange Coast side.
Yeah, that play was definitely a great ult advantage for them. I typically see that somewhat on like Dorado and things like that. They're being sneaky again. This time, though, we won't have quite the jump advantage. Ricochet, though, taking a lot of damage. That Reaper just walks past him.
Yep.
And
that's going to be a problem. If they can't seem to catch that Reaper, then he's just going to keep melting their team. And you can obviously tell he's going to be melting the team because look at his ult.
Ooh, right now, Milk swapping to the Ana, possibly just looking for the anti-nades. There is one down on the side of Orange County. They're going back up there. Oh my gosh, what a confidence play. I barely saw him up there. They have to be ready this time. They have to be ready. This is an anti-onto just the Orisa. Maybe they'll get the best of it, though. Carmel taking down his counterpart.
Anna's not going to have a good day.
Yeah, and it's another one for the side of Orange Coast. We'll see if Milk can escape.
Time to leave. Time to go.
Oh, that was close. It's always nervous. Yeah, I mean, these early holds are really doing the best for them.
Not the best fight.
Bry looking at some high ground advantage. Oh, almost gets that punch. That was so close.
Missed the Lucio.
Barely. A shatter coming in, but nothing gained. Yeah, that was... I think one wraithed out of it and the other one was bubbled.
I don't know how Telos was throwing that much in the air, but he was flying.
He's up in there. He was I believe I
can fly.
Adam has this grab right now. There's a sound barrier in response will be used right on command, but Ricochet hopefully doing some damage in here. But no, that Coalescence coming out is going to cleave through the side of Bulldogs.
Uh-oh, Adam. Looks like the Bulldogs will be losing that fight again, but they do have 4 ults going into this next fight.
That's a big sleep. I don't know if that means anything. Milk,
Big
maybe
sleep, run!
You might be a little too far out.
Run.
No, he gets out with his life, fortunately.
He gets out.
Yeah, that's not worth it in the end. You can only do so much 1v6.
Yes, and especially as an Ana.
Yeah. They're hiding again. At this point...
Huge shatter,
Whoa!
nice reaction through the shield. I don't know about that one, Blizzard, but we see that, and as well as a nano booster Reinhardt coming in, slapping the crap out of the Orisa, but she doesn't seem to notice.
So I don't know if that was like comedic double take or whatever, but it looks like Ricochet turned his shield in order to bait the enemy Reinhardt putting his shield down and start pushing forwards. Gigantic shatter from Ricochet, finally
Huge
putting
play.
an end to these antics.
Definitely a huge play. Very interesting. I don't know if you've noticed this, but he shattered on the other side of that shield. Like, just his axe. He was not on the other side of that shield.
It's hard to say. I know there's a lot of weird stuff when it comes on tolerances. There's the Coalescence coming out, trying to take the street phase early. Ooh.
Nice tracking.
Yeah, Doomfist just didn't quite have the abilities to get out. They're right now trying to bully this Reinhardt into that corner. Oh, looks like he will maybe able to escape. There's a counter Coalescence coming in. This is good for the Bulldogs as they still get cart time though.
You see Ricochet, like I said, the main DPS of the team, walking up and holding mouse 1.
Yeah, no, they're doing a great job just carrying this momentum right now.
Yes, this is very good. They do have a lot of ultimates coming online for Orange Coast, though, so they have to be wary of this because obviously Ferris just used a bunch of their ults to try to push through the streets. So just remember, they have a lot of ults, so this could be a very detrimental fight, or you can try to bait these.
Yeah, Graviton might be coming in. I see a Doomfist all as well. That could be a combo. Oh, this Doomfist though goes down early. That could be this be an advantage. I think they're just going to push that. That's a big shatter. I'm not sure if the follow-up is there. Oh, that's the Blood Blossom though.
It's always fun to see.
Oh, they're fighting this though. They are not opting to take this as a loss, and they would do it. That nano coming in pretty clutch there. I think Ricochet just had the extra damage.
It's always fun to see a Doomfist get punched when he dies. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very ironic. But it looks like Bulldogs will be reaching the second point, and they do have the ultimate coming in from the Gravitron, as well as a Carmel's ult almost coming in online as well. But at the same time, Orange Coast does have 4 ults, so this should be interesting.
Oh, there's a Graviton throw in there, but Adam is low, and so is Ricochet as they both go down. Yeah, I think it was just ill-timed. I think he was looking for it. I think he should have gone for it really early. As soon as that Doomfist came in. Oh, almost had sleep, but that grass gets it.
So close. But we do have a Carmel ult, and we do have a Ricochet ult, which that combo is deadly.
As you say, he swaps over. So
that's upsetting.
A little bit, but I understand why, as they're now going up against Orange Coast's own double shield. Carmel looking to make something go here.
Carmel's looking to use his ult, it looks like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his team's not there.
Gets the grasp out. Oh, but he finds the Orisa just way out of position.
Nice. He gets that Doomfist as well. And, yep, that's what he would have gotten rocked if he tried to ult right there. So very good idea to keep it.
Yeah, whether or not intentional, he goes down. They will be getting Bulldogs will be getting a little bit of momentum here. Counter barrier coming out, maybe just to try to seal the fight early. It's not even using the reaction or anything. It's just used purely to try to win. Coalescence now, kind of cherry on top. Bulldogs doing this pretty well, but I'm not quite sure they have the damage.
Yes, very interesting to see here. They're just going to back off and reset, hopefully, but Adam will not be getting out with his life.
Ooh, what's Milk doing all the way over there? I think he was taking more of a flank route to try to heal his team without any pressure, but when they got run over, so did he.
Yes, it's kind of like a tire going down the road. Just keep on going.
Yeah, it's that snowball effect.
Definitely.
It's kind of sad we don't have the Christmas Kings Road right now.
Oh, yes, that would be a very...
If only.
If only. But going in, we do see the Doomfist ultimate coming in, but he is
Big
anti-healed.
Big anti, yeah, that's exactly what they need to look for. They need to punish individual players.
Oh, huge!
Bri.
Huge ultimate coming in from Bri, as well as the Orisa ultimate to help, or not even the ultimate, Orisa just in general.
Yeah,
damage.
That's a big pull. I'm sad I missed it. Ooh, I see a Reaper outline
as well, but I do see a flanking man of the Reaper.
Yeah, Adam did spot him out there. They now are on Bastion.
Bastion, I am not surprised by this at all.
No, neither am I.
That is going to be melting of the shields.
Ooh, That's a big damage coming in from the side of Orange Coast, and that'll be a reset there for Ferris. They are now on their last legs. There are 30 minutes on the clock. Adam goes down. See if Bry can get out with his life. I think he might have it in him. Can he get out of there? Yeah, there he goes. Milk is there to support them too. So this is last legs. This is their final push. We'll see if Orange Coast
looks
will
like
stop
they're
them
gonna
here.
see. No.
Oh my God, Overwatch.
We do not see the ending because of the crash. What worse timing? So in the end, Ferris won. Don't know that to be true.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
Wishful
I do want to see the end of this match.
This is very upsetting. Of course, worst timing.
Overwatch client. All right, we'll
this
see
has
how
not
quickly.
been an issue ever, and all of a sudden it is.
Yeah, rendering device.
Yes.
Join.
Now enter.
Oh man, this
Here
is
we are.
this is the very end of it. It looks like
And
everybody
it
is
looks
dead.
Like everyone's dead.
It looks like we. That's so sad. But in the end, Orange Coast, very well fought. Such a strong team coming in. They kind of changed the meta around to their own whim. Finally had to hunker down and to get to that raw double steal at the end, stop Ferris. Bulldogs nearly took that one out though. They had a very good chance here in Kings Row and almost took it to a map 3. But that will be Orange Coast 2-0, leaving Ferris now with an 8-4 record for the season.
32,000 healing. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Telos just that Moira burst heals. I mean,
Now entering
natural.
King's Row.
Yeah, it looks like the lobby may be setting back up. They might play the third map just for fun. I am unsure. I guess we'll try to see what happens in just a moment here. For now, though, let's take a minute to just talk about our players, talk about that game.
Very interesting game. Very close game. I loved it.
Yeah, it looks like they will be not playing a third map, unfortunately. But yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff that Kings Row map. They definitely were exhibiting a lot of confidence on the side of Orange County, but I think Ferris kind of kept their Orange Coast. But I think that Ferris really kept their head in the game.
Yeah, they definitely did. They brought in compositions that they thought would work, which is fine. Like, they're very confident in their comfortable picks. Obviously, Brian the Doomfist, Milk on the Ana, all that. I think Milk was on the Ana. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Milk was on the Ana most of that, which was an interesting change.
Yes, interesting change, but we've seen it in the past. So not a huge change. But at the same time, it just looked like Orange Coast was more collaborated.
Maybe I think a lot of their individual skill worked out for them.
Yeah, I agree. They had multiple flanks that happened. They had multiple just straight up like the McCree ult in the very end. The McCree combo with there was no combo. It was just a McCree ulting.
Right.
And the McCree ulted got a 3-pick and then soloed the Reinhardt, which was already damaged as it was. But at the same time, like that's what we're talking about, the individual skill. And I mean, it's not like we're not seeing that from the Ferris side. We saw Bry come in multiple times, take out like at least 4. But at the same time, it was going back and forth. It was very close games. I liked it. The first game, not so much. I mean, yeah, it was kind of a roll, so to speak. But the second and third, very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Bulldogs nearly pull it back after that first loss because, again, it's just such an endurance game in this meta.
Oh, yes.
When you're playing some of these heroes, I mean, you're on that Orisa, you're on that Moira, sometimes two-dimensional heroes. You really just got to always keep your focus.
Yep, it's like you said, two-dimensional. It gets old.
Sometimes
like, you're using the same person over and over, and it's not like that person is very hard to use.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask sometimes, but like in the case of like a Doomfist, like you're always on.
Okay, so the Doomfist is very hard to use.
Right.
I'm talking about more of a Moira sense where. Yes, it's not hard to use Moira.
Yeah.
But yes, there's a strategic factor.
Right.
There's always a strategic factor with anybody. But as you can see the coalescence being used on Telos. Telos' tracking is insane.
Yeah.
His flicking to teammates if they're damaged, to anybody flying through the air. That's the strategy side of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And ult economy as well.
But, I mean, yeah, you have to make those small decisions because even though the rest of the majority of the time is there for her high health pool and her shield, those pulls, those ultimate timings, I mean, it makes all the difference.
Yep.
And I think in the end, I think Orange Coast was just able to play around them just a little bit better. Maybe some missteps on the side of Ferris. But at the same time, I think it was a great exhibition from both players.
Definitely. And yeah, we had 2 losses tonight, but at the same time, I thought both games were actually really good.
Yeah, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If you're interested in the stream and everything that we do here as a club, check us out at ferrisesports.club, our website. You can find all the links there for social media, especially our Discord. Discord is where all of our communication takes place. So if you want to be involved, even if it's casually,
Yep.
join us there, start talking. And if you're here on campus, here at the Big Rapids Ferris campus, then you can find us at our meetings.
Yep, on Thursdays at 11 a.m. at room 209 in the University Center.
Yeah. So if you really want to play, especially talk to one of the e-board members. Me and Noah
Yep.
are actually both e-board members.
We are both e-board members, yes.
So talk to us.
And the Ricochet you watched play tonight is an e-board member.
Yeah, we're very involved in our club.
Very involved.
But yeah, if you want to be involved, I mean, come on down. We always have spots for you. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll apologize for the technical issues tonight. Those should be fixed by next week.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going on with that, but we'll figure it out.
Computers, man.
Yes.
Let's blame Blizzard.
Blame Blizzard.
Blame Blizzard.
Blame Blizzard.
Actually, we shouldn't blame Blizzard. They're doing Overwatch too. We
Don't
need them.
blame Blizzard.
We need them
Don't
for this.
blame Blizzard.
We love you, Blizzard.
We want the new game mode.
Anyways, thank you all so much for watching the stream, for tuning in, and we will see you all next week for another installment of Overwatch.
Yes, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.